Hey Beach House friends, how are you doing? Comment below your favorite activity you've done at home this week. Today, we're continuing talking about humility, putting others first by giving up what you think you deserve. We can all understand putting someone else first, but it can be really hard. But why is it so hard? And what can we do about it? Last weekend, we got to celebrate with our family Easter. This is the ultimate story of Jesus putting others above himself. Today, we're going to hear a message from my favorite guy, Saul Paul. See, Saul Paul was this guy who first hated people who followed Jesus. Something happened to him while he was traveling, and after it, he decided to dedicate his entire life to telling people about Jesus. He is known as the writer of a lot of the New Testament because he wrote tons of letters to the early churches. In one of his letters, written to the Philippians, he told people to be humble just like Jesus. You can follow along at home in Philippians chapter 2, verse 3 through 8. And so this is what it says. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you in your interests of others. In your relationships with one another, have the same mindset as Christ Jesus, who, being in the very nature God, did not consider equality with God something to be used for his own advantage. Rather, he made himself nothing by taking the very nature of a servant, being made in human likeness. And being found in appearance as a man, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to death, even death on a cross. Saul Paul tells us that Jesus is the model for putting others first. Jesus is the answer to our why questions. Jesus was equal with God, but instead of holding on to that fact, he became like us. And even more, he became like a servant. And all of this eventually led to his death on the cross. And this wasn't very good trade for Jesus, but Jesus knew that this was necessary to put us first. And that is true humility. There are times when something is rightfully ours, like when we can prove in every other way that we deserve it, and yet the right thing to do is still put aside our rights for the sake of others. And in these moments, our model and our motivation is Jesus, who set aside more than we could ever imagine in order to put us first. So, what keeps you from putting others first? What challenges you face when it comes to giving up what you want for what others want? It's not easy, but when we do it, we can point people to Jesus. In the description, we'll have some questions you and your family can ask and answer together. See you guys.